I wonder if you've been as confused as I was in the past about this term connection, which has been around golf and golf coaching for a long time. Today I'm going to demystify it, perhaps clarify what it is and what it isn't, and then that should help you to swing the golf club even better than what you currently are. Hi, my name's Peter Knight. I've created this channel, Peter Knight Golf, to help make you the best golfer you can be this year or forever. If you hit the subscribe button and the grey bell notification icon, then you'll get notification of every video that I send out. And I look forward to helping you today understand better what connection is and overall helping you with every aspect of your golf game. The term connection has been around golf for a long time, golf and golf coaching. If we take the term literally, we're really going to get into some strife. If connection means things moving completely together, then the motion, it just implies rigidity and getting all tied up in knots, really. So if I set myself up here and then feel like my arms and my body all work together, then as I turn back, the club moves well behind me. And as you can see from this view, it definitely doesn't look correct. So to start with, let's have a look, and first of all, if we perhaps either change the name or define it a little bit better. So a connection is really things working together and not having any excessive movement, and definitely not having any restricted movement. So that first example that I showed you, where I really just allowed everything to work with my turning upper body, it clearly wasn't correct. The club went back, club face was closed, the club swung around behind me, as you can see from this view here. So my club wasn't working correctly, my arms working correctly, and my body was definitely feeling like it was all locked up. And a lot of that happens with players who do take that notion literally, where it is connection. If we think of it more as efficiency of movement, no wasted motion. So the body needs to synchronize and work together to get the most power, to get the most control out of his shots. When I set myself up, if we have a look at what the movement means or how the arms and hands should work, from here, my arms are a little bit forward of the center line of my body and my hands are down here at address. When I swing to the top of the backswing, so if I just make a backswing movement and then don't move my arms or my hands, but just if I rotate back to my address position, I can see my hands have moved from just in front of the center line of my body to just behind the center line of my body. My hands have moved from being down here to lifted up here. So they haven't moved very far. And my wrists have been where there's a bit of, you can see a bit of an angle here with the shaft of my left arm. At the top of the swing, that's moved that far. So I've definitely got movement through my wrist, definitely movement with my arm across my body a little bit, and movement with my arm or arms lifting. As long as I've got that movement in the backswing, then the movement is so-called connected, but it's actually synchronized. There's no inefficient movement. Now, a lot of the reason why this term connection has come about, quite legitimately, is because there's been either a restriction of movement, but more likely an excessive amount of movement. So if I swing the club back and move my wrists too much, move my arms too far across my body as I swing back, or lift my arms too much as I'm going back, then I'm definitely not moving in an efficient manner, or to use the term, in a connected manner. So really that's the only movement that I've got. If I want to practice that, it's as simple as doing this movement here. So from here, I'm just going to let my wrist hinge a little bit, fold my elbows and bring them across my body, and then from there, even allowing the club just to rotate a little bit this way. And then from there, all I'm going to do is rotate my body to the top of the swing, and you can see from there, it's the same, I hope it's the same, position as if I make a normal backswing movement. And in fact, that's a great drill to actually practice that movement, particularly if you find you've got excessive movement. Say if you compare, even I'm not a perfect model, but if you're comparing your movement to say what I look like, if it's vastly different, then perhaps do that drill and you'll probably hit the ball better than I do. But practice that little drill there. Check and monitor the movement, either looking from side on using a window or a mirror or something like that, or watch from front on and see how your hands, your arms move relative to your body during the swing, the backswing and the downswing. When I swing the club from the top of the swing back to impact, if I then square my body up, my hands have moved to roughly the center line of my body. So they've moved from in front of center line at the dress, behind center line at the top, and back to roughly center line. It's not much movement relative to what it, well, certainly compared to what it looks like. So the look of the body turning and everything like that can trick you into thinking that there's extra movement that you need, but you don't.